Hello, everybody. My name is Jason Hoffman, and I'm the Global Beauty Director for Laura Mercier. And I am so excited that you've all tuned in for our first ever live stream event. And the theme for the day is called Set for Summer. And what it really is, this is all about getting a beautiful, radiant, flawless summer complexion, something that looks natural, something that feels natural, and something that lasts all day long. Now, I want you to remember this because throughout this broadcast and for the rest of the weekend, I'm going to give you a code that you can use to get 15% off of any Laura Mercier purchases. And you can share this with your friends. The code is Jason, that's my name, Jason 15. So remember, if you use that code, you'll get 50% off of all of your purchase, 15% off, all of your purchases through the entire weekend. So let's get started. For those of you that don't know anything about Laura Mercier, the makeup artist, she was so iconic and famous in the 80s and the 90s because she coined what is called the flawless face. And the flawless face, what that really means, it's about using the least amount of product possible to get the most beautiful, glowing, radiant complexion. And it really is skin that looks like you, people notice you, and they don't notice your makeup. So I'm going to take you through the flawless face. I'm going to show you the techniques that have made Laura so famous and so iconic. And I'm going to show you how to make it look really beautiful, really bronzed, really glowy, and really summery. So let's get started. So the first step in the flawless face, it is priming the skin. Now, we make a lot of different primers, but since it is summer, I am going to be using the blurring primer because now I have no makeup on, first of all, confessional. I'm not wearing any makeup because I'm going to put it on for all of you, so I feel like we're already good friends here if I'm doing that for you. But I always start my makeup with a primer because what primers do is they are going to keep your skincare in and they keep your makeup out. So they are that barrier to keep your makeup looking fresh and to keep all of the skincare locked in place. Now, our Pure Canvas primers, these are newer, and what's so special about these is they are formulated without any silicone whatsoever. Most primers do contain silicone, and it's not that it's bad for your skin, but what can happen with primers or with silicone is it can break down makeup, it can feel like a mask, and it can also clog the pores. So I will be using the blurring primer, and again, all of the details are on our website. Information on all of the products are, down below too if you want to know about color ranges or assortments. I'm using about the size of a pea, and I'm going to apply it on my skin, and you can see I am quite oily. And you'll notice instantly, and I am all about instant gratification, and you will see that the blurring primer is absorbing the oil. So if you see sort of on one half of the face, not a lot of shine. There's a little bit of natural radiance coming through, but when you look over here, you see all of the oil. So if you are oily or if in the summertime you tend to get a little shiny, I would recommend the blurring. This has blurring powders in it. That's what makes it turn the skin into this sort of beautiful matte finish. And the blurring powders, they absorb 5 times more oil than a traditional powder. So it's going to make the skin matte, but it's going to be comfortable. There's microalgae that does condition the skin. So the skin is hydrated, it's not dry, but it gives a really nice matte finish. Another thing about all of the primers is that they will give a beautiful soft focus finish. Everything we do is sort of to get that soft focus finish, but they will blur lines and imperfections. Also, they'll make the pores look smaller. So I don't know if you can see, but my skin, it's a little bit more matte now. I don't like to be completely matte. I still like to have a little bit of natural glow, but you can see here my skin is prepped and it's ready for makeup application. So, next up, it would not be summer makeup without talking about our iconic tinted moisturizer. Now, this formula is so special to me because I wear makeup almost every day, and being on camera, I wear foundations, but when I'm not on camera, I do wear tinted moisturizer. And if you like to look very natural, like you're not wearing anything, I would definitely recommend the tinted moisturizer. Again, I'm using fingers to apply. Think of this as a moisturizer. So what's great about this, first and foremost, is it has SPF 30. It's broad spectrum, so it's UVA and UVB protection. It's packed with skin-loving ingredients. It has vitamin C and E, which are great antioxidants. It has macadamia nut and kukui nut extract. So not only you're going to get this sort of instant surge of hydration and moisture, those ingredients will actually give 24 hours of hydration to the skin. So we have 20 shades. I'm a level 3 right now. That's my summer color. And I'm just massaging it into the skin. And you see, I mean, it really does even out the skin, but again, it's not about masking the skin. It's really just about looking like yourself, but just the best version of yourself. And again, do a little bit more for the other side. And I will come a little closer so you can see this side. And again, just massage it in with your hands and rub in a circular motion. And like I said, this has that SPF 30 UVA UVB protection. I typically, I try not to leave the house without wearing some sort of sunscreen. But if I'm going anywhere where I'm interacting with people, which isn't much lately, but I will do a little bit of tinted moisturizer just so my skin looks perfected. It has a little bit of a radiance to it, and the skin is just nice and even. Now, if you like a full coverage, that's totally fine. You can use Flawless Lumiere, Flawless Fusion foundations. Those are great also. And you would just do it right on top of the primer. So you see here, the skin is starting to look really nice, really even. And the colors are beautiful. And again, don't forget that if you are shopping with us this weekend, use the code JASON15 and you will get 15% off of your purchase all weekend long. Okay, so the skin is primed. The skin has a little tinted moisturizer. Now, something that I cannot typically go without, that is a little bit of concealer. And you know, the easiest thing in the world to do is use our Flawless Fusion concealer. We have a wide shade range. I'm using a level 3. If you're a level, 3 or whatever level you are, 0 through 6 in the tinted moisturizer, I would buy the same level in your Flawless Fusion concealer. And there are a couple of different ways to apply this. I'll show you both. And again, I think less is more when you're doing concealer, especially if you want to look good on camera and you want to look good when you leave the house. It's important that you don't overuse concealer. So I'm taking the doe foot and I'm just applying it right along the hollows. So when you see right here, I don't have a lot of darkness, but I do have a hollow right here, which is so much fun. And then you can either use your fingers and just press it in, and you'll see that this blends really easily. What's great about it is this does wear for 12 hours. It is weightless, it is crease-proof, and it gives a beautiful medium to full coverage. So, you can see the difference right here, how my eye is instantly brighter, and then I will just take what's left over and I'll go on the upper eyelid. Like so. Now, if you are a brush user, and that's totally fine too, I have the ponytail brush, and I will just softly diffuse it under the eye. This gives a little bit more of a sheer finish. If you like more coverage, I would use your fingers because that just pushes the product and melts it into the skin. And again, I'll take it onto the eyelid so you can see the difference. So if you have any sort of discoloration, I don't know if you can see it, but I have a little bit of redness on the tip of my nose. We'll see what that is later on. I don't know what's happening. But I will do the concealer just to even out a little bit. If you have a blemish, it's great for doing that as well. I have what's called a butterfly mask, so I'll get a little bit of redness right around here. And if you can see, it just covers beautifully. Okay, so again, this is going to wear for 12 hours. It's not going to crease, and it feels like nothing on the skin. It feels completely weightless. So, Flawless Fusion Concealer, we love you. Okay, so now I am very excited about this next step. This is the final step in what is called the Flawless Face, and that is setting. And, you know, if you're on here, I know you know about our translucent loose setting powder. It is iconic. It is the #1 setting powder, and definitely for a reason, because it sets the makeup for 16 hours. It gives a beautiful, soft, matte, focused finish to the skin. It never looks dry, never looks cakey, and it blurs all the lines and imperfections. So, just when you think it couldn't get better, I have more news to share with you. We are introducing our newest shade, and that is Honey. Now, you know we have the original, which is good. It's if you're a level 0 up to a level 2, that's going to be perfect. We have the new Honey shade for the medium skin tones, which is me right now. I'm level 3, goes up to level 4. And then if you are a level 5 or a level 6, we have the medium deep. And I will apply this. I'm going to show you, actually, this is Laura's technique. This is the way to apply translucent powder. I'm just going to put a little bit into the cap. I'm going to take a powder puff, roll it around into the cap, and then put the puff together, and I'm going to massage it in. And the reason we do this is because if you use a puff to apply your powder, now I'll do 1/2, I'll start here. I'm starting where I get the most shine. For me, it's the forehead. And then I take it down along the jawline, and then I come up onto the cheek, and then I finish by going on the under eye. And I'll come close. I want you to see, and there's a lot of myths about powder. It will make me dry. It will take away my glow. It does not do any of that if you apply it correctly. If you notice, you still see there's a nice glow to my skin. It does not take away the glow, but if you notice this side, it doesn't look shiny. So here and here. And here's what's really important too. It doesn't matter if you're in person or if you're on Zoom or if you're doing virtual consultations or dates or whatever you're doing. A little powder goes a long way in making you look soft. It makes you look airbrushed, and it's a beautiful finish. Now, I have a little bit of red in my skin, and what's great about the Honey is that it was formulated. We spent a lot of time on the color of Honey, and it is a perfect blend of peach, golden undertones. So for me, the golden undertones help me because you see my skin doesn't look as red. It actually helps to counteract some of that redness. Now, a lot of medium skin tones are very olive. And what's great about that is we have the peach in there. So when you apply this powder, your skin doesn't look sallow. It doesn't look overly yellow. It gives it a bit of vibrancy. So it really does work for both the reddish undertones and the olive undertones. So anybody that's medium, you are going to love this powder. I think I saw, like someone said it's going to break the internet. I don't know, but I have 3 of them, and I've already been through 1. So I can't speak highly enough about the Honey powder. And again, you know, I'm filming in HD here, and it's just, there are no lines. It does not show any lines. It doesn't look dry, and it doesn't look cakey. All right? So we have the skin completely set. I could go like this, but sometimes I like just a little bit of color. I like a little bit of warmth. And I want to show you some of my favorite tips for getting beautiful bronze and beautiful illumination to the skin. So next I'm going to go into the Matte Radiance Powder. This is a bronzing powder that is just absolutely beautiful. What I love about it is it's not full of glitter. It's not full of shimmer. It really is that perfect amount of color and radiance. So I'll come a little closer. Now, this is shade number 4. And so you can see this here, 4. This is one of the darker shades. And I like to have a little bit of a bronze finish. So I'm going to apply, again, I'm starting on the forehead. That's where most of my space is here. And I'm using, because I like more color, I'm using the angled cheek color brush, if you can see that. If you like a softer effect with your bronzer, you could use the finishing brush, or you could use the powder brush. So what I'm doing is I'm creating sort of this C right here, and then actually taking it into an E or a 3, whichever way this is broadcasting. And I'm just using it to really give some nice dimension to the skin. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take what's left over on the brush and go through the center and go over the eyes. And I'll show you some tips, too, of how to make the eyes and the lips pop without using a lot of makeup. So you see I'm getting a really nice sort of tan finish. Don't forget the ears. We always neglect the ears, and they're a little, sometimes they'll look red or they'll look pale compared to the rest of the face. Okay, so I'll do the other side. Again, I'm starting with the forehead. And I like to leave a little bit of the center light. That gives a beautiful sort of shape. It gives more dimension, more interest to the complexion. And then I'll bring it over and onto the cheekbones, down to the jaw, and then a little bit on the nose. And then again, I'll go over the eye and the under eye and finish with the ear. All right. So again, I love bronzer. I could put this on forever and just be 6 shades darker, but I won't make you sit and watch me do that. Okay, so the skin is now bronzed, and I am not necessarily a blush wearer, but I will tell you, all the times that I've worked with Laura, and she'll see, and we'll do master classes, or if she's watching makeup, and she'll come up, and she's such a proponent of adding pink or peach to the skin, because that's what makes us look alive, and that's what makes us look healthy. When you're healthy, you get this natural flush to the skin. So I'm going to apply a little bit of blush, and I'll do it just right in here, so I get just a little bit of a sun-kissed effect. And I'm going to use Chai. It has a touch of pink in it, and it may or may not, yeah, I think that will show up. And so I'm just going to apply it right on the cheekbones. And again, and especially for guys, blush is great. I think it's really good at waking up the complexion. I don't like to typically do like a standard blush application. I like to do it as if it's sort of the sun has hit me, but if you can see there, just adding that little bit of pink makes it look like you've gone for a nice walk in the summer sun. Nobody knows that you've been just staying at home, self-isolating. You can look like you've been on that vacation. And then I'll go right down the center. Again, just that little bit of pink really brings the skin to life. So we look healthy, we look flushed, and then we are ready for the final step, and that is giving the illumination, giving that extra pop. I love to do this if you have an important event. If you're going to be in candlelight, this is fantastic. And that is our face illuminator. So this is just to give that really beautiful glow, that luminosity. And I'll show you some pro tips that I like to do with this as well, where you don't have to wear eyeshadow and you don't have to wear lipstick. So for this, I'm going to take the fan brush, if you can see that right there. It's thin, and it's designed to put on the lightest amount of product possible. And for me, I like to keep it simple. I like to keep it natural. So I'm just going to take the fan brush, and I'll go right on the high points of the face. And again, what I encourage you to do is to get familiar where your high points are, because they're different for everybody. So I know that if I put Illuminator right there, boom, it's going to pop, and I don't have to over-apply or worry about it. So again, right here on the high points, boom, and it really it comes to life and it just pops. And what's great, this is, as is the blush, these are powder textures. I'm not using any creams, but when you touch them, they're so delicately milled that they feel almost like it's a cream product. So And that really does speak to the quality. You know, if you use something that's chalky, or if it's crumbling when you use it in the pan, it's probably going to look a little crumbly when it goes on the skin. So make sure it's something that almost feels like cream. And again, I'll go right down the center of the nose. I don't like to have like too much highlight. I just like it to look, just to catch the light slightly. And then what I love to do, I'll do this sometimes, but I do this when I'm doing like makeup or applications on the beach, or if it's a swimsuit shoot or something like that. I pretty much just use the products that I'm using here, and I use them all over the body. And what I love to do is I will take a little bit of the face illuminator on my finger, and I'll go right onto the eyelid and just press it on. And again, this is just to pick up the light. And it gives a little, it just makes the eye look open. Do you see the difference in the two eyes? That eye just looks open, the lid looks fresh. It makes the eye look bigger. And one of the things that Laura really teaches, and she talks about all the time, it's just looking at the face and saying, where can I play with light and dark to make the biggest impact? And so with this, popping it right on the lid, I have small eyes, so if I put anything light on this lid, it's going to bring it forward and make it look even bigger. Which is why you put it on the high points of the face. Now don't forget, for those of you that are just tuning in, you can use the code JASON15 all weekend long at lauramercier.com, and you'll get 15% off of your purchases. And share that with your friends. We like to share. Okay, so the eyes are popping a little bit. I don't wear mascara typically, but if you wear mascara, I would just curl the lashes and do a little bit of mascara. Final thing I want to show you with the Face Illuminator is to take a little bit and just go right on the lips. And see how that catches the light? What's great is there's no weight to this, so it looks beautiful. And if you're wearing, I'm kind of wearing like a cream color, but it's just so chic to wear light colors and really bronze the skin and wear that little pops of light here and there. It's one of my favorite looks. And then also, if you have any skin showing, if you're showing a shoulder, if you're showing a collarbone, go back with the Illuminator and just make it pop, and it looks beautiful for any summer attire. Okay, so we're almost done. I do want to share my final secret for not only summer skin, but this is something that I got into the habit of doing no matter what. So if I'm on set, I will always do this before the model goes out. If I'm doing it on myself, I will do it before I leave the house. And that is to take the puff and go into the lid, and I will reset. And I will reset my product. So it resets the powder, it resets the blush, resets the illuminator. And I want to talk to you a little bit about why I use the puff. And I love talking to Laura about puffs because she's so passionate about the powder puff. When she was first starting out in makeup and she was assisting, her only job was to put powder on the puffs, roll it, and put it in tissue. And the reason the puff is so important is because you've got all of this velour and you're pushing the powder into the skin, and it creates a bond. And that's what sets the makeup for 16 hours. I'm always asked, can you use a powder brush to apply your powder? And the answer is yes. You can use a brush and you can apply the powder. However, it's not going to set it for 16 hours. If you want it to set all day and last, you need to take the puff and you need to press and roll it into the skin. So, if you're grabbing one of these powders, if you're picking up your honey today, I would recommend getting the puff. It will make the biggest difference in your makeup. And what's great is when you push the puff product into the skin, it doesn't look cakey, and it doesn't take away any of that natural radiance in your skin. It really does lock it into place, keeps it set all day, and you will look fresh and ready to go. So that is my summer tip for you. I can't recommend the puff more. So again, just to recap everything that we spoke about, Flawless Face, we did the primer, I did blurring primer today, followed by the tinted moisturizer. Sand is my color. This is my summer color. And then, of course, the Flawless Fusion Concealer. And then I set everything with our new Honey Translucent Loose Setting Powder. And then bronzer, the Matte Radiance Bronzer number 4. And then I did blush, just a little pop of the chai just to give me a little bit of pink. If you're a blush user, I would definitely go into something like, peach is stunning. It's one of my favorite colors. And then, of course, the Face Illuminator. All right. So, before I go, I want to thank all of you for tuning in. This was definitely a learning curve for me. And, thank you for coming and sitting in my living room and watching me talk about makeup. This is not the last, though. So, feel free. I know a lot of our viewers, you're very vocal, and we love that. So go on to our Instagram and comment. What do you want to see next? What do you want to learn? What tips and tricks can we share? What products do you want us to feature? And we will definitely look at all of that, and we will make it happen for you. And again, don't forget, okay, most importantly, Jason15 is going to get you 15% off of all of your Laura Mercier purchases on our website, lauramercier.com, all weekend long, okay? So, on a personal note, I just want to thank you for tuning in. This was a lot of fun for me. I hope you learned a lot, and we will see you very soon, okay? Until next time. Bye-bye.